Yo, what's up guys, but I'm Fire here back with another video, and today we're going to be bringing you guys another Madden 22 defense. This one might be the best in the game. It's really good run defense, really good pass defense. Of course, it's going to be a blitz, and we're going to be in the 4-3 even 6-1 for today's video, which is starting to get used by a lot more people. It's sooner rather than later that this will probably become the meta on defense. It's just really good defense. There's so many blitzes that you can do. We'll show you two different ways off of both sides, and you can just really get easy pressure without blitzing a lot of guys, which of course will be demonstrated in today's video. We're in the Chicago Bears defensive playbook, so Bears playbook, it's what I run normally. You have all these really good defensive formations, and you combine it with the fact that you have a 4-3 even 6-1, just makes it that much better. So I do think there are certain ways to maybe even get a safety here in Ultimate Team, but just for regs purposes, we're going to go ahead, use these linebackers. We got Patrick Queen inside, fast user, Odofe Awa there at the right side, and then you have Tyus Bowser on the other guys. These guys aren't even the fastest you can do, but you'll see they come in pretty quick in the actual blitz. Now the play that we're actually going to run is going to be cover 4 quarters, which I will move my face cam so that you guys can see. Cover 4 quarters on the left side there. I think this is probably the best way to mix between both coverage and pressure, so that's what we're going to rock with. I have made a couple of other videos on this formation, so you guys can definitely check those out and pretty much create a scheme out of this. But without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Alright, so getting out in the field, you notice when your opponent's going to come out in a spread formation, it can be anything usually besides bunch, so it can be this split slot that we're in right now. It can be trips tight end, it can be Trey Y flex, it can be U trips, it can be pretty much anything that's not a compressed set like a bunch or a bunch tight end. What you're going to want to do is base align. So you're going to base align. The way you do that is you press that Y or triangle button on PlayStation, push your left stick to the right hand side. You can also set your auto alignment to base and your coach adjustments, but that's not going to be necessary. Another thing you can do in coach adjustments is leave your things on default, because of course you don't want to cancel your match coverage. We do want this defense to match. Now we're going to show different ways to run this blitz, of course. But for the first way, what we're going to do is blitz off this left side. So we're going to blitz off the left side first, then we'll show how to blitz off the right side, because there will be situations where you want to blitz on, the side depending on what favors you the most. So we'll show both ways. For this first setup, blitzing off this left side, we're going to send Tyus Bowser in. So you're immediately going to put him on a blitz Tyus Bowser. Next thing you're going to do is go ahead, slant. If you take a look at your player, you notice that the defensive lineman is kind of slanted to the right, if not slanted to the right completely. So defense is pretty much set up that it is slanted to the right. That's not what we want, especially if we're blitzing off that left side. So if you're blitzing off the left, go ahead, slant your defense to the left side. As done here, you see the adjustment take place. Now, over here on the left side, what do we want? Now, ideally, it depends formation to formation. You could run a couple of different things. We could, man up X on X. We could put Stevens over here in a curl flat. We could man him up on the running back. You could do a couple of different things. For now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is create a cover 2 on that side. Now, ideally, the best way to run it, this cover 4, cover 2 combo, is to have your quarter flat on the left. We don't have that. We're rushing 5. This is a blitz, so you're not going to have that. You got to be careful with your user. But cover 2 over there, not much to get deep, really. It's decent coverage. Ideally, you want your cover 2 on the short side, which is something that we'll adjust to. I might respot the ball, do just certain things. But let's actually run the blitz. A lot of talking. I know you guys might get mad when I do that, but the last thing you're going to do is hover here with your user. Once again, Tyus Bowser is the guy we're getting off the edge. Wait for the ball to be snapped, and of course, you run it in practice mode the first time. It's literally always the case in my videos. It doesn't work. We'll set it up again quickly. I don't know why that's always a thing, like where it works 20 times in practice mode. I run it one time in video, or the first time in the video, and then it just doesn't work. That's just amazing, but we'll set it up again. I think ideally you kind of want to stand a little bit to the left side. I don't know that it really makes that huge of a difference though. Again, slant to that left side, hover over here, and now you see that pressure getting through. So that is ideally what it looks like. He didn't really get blocked much. I would, if maybe 1 out of 10 times when I ran this, so pretty reliable. Of course, as long as you can get the center's attention, as long as Cam Robinson over here can pick up your left end, Justin Houston here, then Tyus Bowser is in a good position to, of course, get pressure. Again, rushing 5, you don't really have to stand there with your user. You don't have to engage. You just have to hold the attention for a split second, and then you're good off to user yourself. We'll actually respot the ball so you guys might understand a little bit more of what I'm talking about with why he would do certain things. So we went ahead, respotted to the left. So in the situation that the ball's on the left-hand side, what you're going to do is, this is just going to ensure that you run your cover 2 on the left. So we're now going to run the cover 2 on the left, guaranteed. This will just make it easier. You don't want your cover 2 to have to play all that side on the right side. You see how much space is on the right? You see how these safeties are a little bit down on the right? Even Chuck Clark. So if this is a deep half and this is a cloud flat, it's going to be super easy to beat that outside. So we want to make sure our cover 2 is on the short side of the field. But again, that's all we're doing. Putting a cloud flat over here. You go soft squat if you want as well. You can go hard flat. But again, just make sure that you baseline, you slant to the left. I like to, again, kind of hover over here in this left spot for this blitz off the left side. Wait for the football to be snapped. You hold that position for a little bit long, and there you get Tyus Bowser getting off that edge perfectly. Now, I do think you might be able to run this with a contain. Let's actually kind of lab on the fly here. We'll test it out in real time. But again, it's a pretty simple blitz. You're not adjusting a whole lot. You're manually doing 3 different things. Blitz that linebacker, putting cloud flat out, and then putting a deep half. Again, you're slanting to the left. You don't have to shift your D-line at all for this blitz, which is nice. We can't say the same for the other one. Let's actually go with the contain. We'll try it out, because when you blitz off the other side, you will see later that you do actually use a contain, so it is something interesting. But again, I like to get in that hovered position where he puts one leg in front of the other. You see, you have this one and you have this one. You have 2 different ones. But we'll snap the ball, and this one you see, it's a little bit slower, I feel like. Maybe if you compare them, there's not any difference, but I just feel like it's a little bit slower going to the replay here. Yeah, it kind of gets an error detected for a split second, which of course slows it down in comparison to real-time blitzes, but we'll show it one more time. Again, you don't have to go with the cloud flat adjustment that I run. That's just something that I like to do, and I feel like it's going to be the best off for you, especially if you're running this match coverage base, but that is just me personally. Of course, again, you can go with the man coverage if it's bunch, whatever the case may be, but I feel like this is the most reliable, formation to formation, because if I just showed you defense against bunch, what if they run a different formation? You're not going to know what to do. So we'll snap the ball again, hover over here. This time you get him getting off the edge. Now, the one thing that I notice is a little bit inconsistent is the blitzing angles. Sometimes these linebackers, they're slower. They run a little bit weird. That's bound to happen. That's perfectly fine if that happens. I think the other blitz is a little bit cleaner, which you will see in a moment, but it is what it is. Now, for this other blitz, you're going to do a couple of different things. Now, initially, what I'm going to do is respot the ball. Again, you want your cover 2 on the short side of the field. So now we have our short side of the field. What you're going to do is go ahead, shift your D-line before you base the line. So this is where auto alignment might not be the best, because you want to be able to shift your D-line before you baseline for this blitz. So you're going to shift your D-line. This time to the left, we're going to send Odofe Owa off that right edge. So we're going to actually shift to the left. Interesting enough, I think the reason is I like Justin Houston to be a little bit inside the tackle. You see Justin Houston on that left side, number 50. He's inside Cam Robinson. And then you notice on the right side, Derek Wolfe is all the way on the outside. It's a pretty big difference. And I like my defensive end to be in that same position. So now when we shift to the left, you notice how Derek Wolfe is actually in that good position, which is exactly what we want. Now, what you're going to do is, again, we shifted to the left. Now you can actually baseline. I think if you baseline first, I've noticed a couple of different weird things happening. 1, your linebacker will kind of stay put. And 2, I think you might have to manually move him, but shift to the left, then you baseline. Now what you're going to do is slant outside. So slant outside, which is something new. For that first blitz, we slant to the left. You might be thinking, oh, we're going to slant to the right for this one. That's not the case, actually. We're going to go ahead and slant to the left, or slant outside, rather. So slant outside, then, of course, you're going to manually blitz A, and then for this one, you're actually going to run a contain. So you're going to contain for this blitz. Once again, on this right side, you actually can create your cover 2. Again, short side of the field. And then with your user, again, I kind of like to stand over to the right a little bit. You could stand in the middle. I don't know that it makes a huge difference, but hover over here on the right side, snap the ball, and of course, first play, you know how it works. It just doesn't work at all. You gotta love it. I don't know why these things happen to me, but you saw it with the other one. The blitz worked every time except for the first time that we ran it, so who knows. But we'll set it up again here. Slant outside, good to go. Again, set up your coverage adjustments. Hover right about here on the right side, right gap. For some reason, sometimes you have to go all the way down to get him in this hovered position, and then go back. But now you see, oh, it almost worked. We actually have the guy off the left side, which is not supposed to happen. You kind of see how it worked. I'll show the replay. Interesting enough, we actually got Justin Houston free, which is not usually what happens, but I guess it did. I don't know what the center's doing here, but you can kind of see how it does work with him getting off the edge quickly. He usually just runs free to the quarterback. I don't know why it's not working now. It's super annoying because it was worked 20 times in a row earlier. Boom, and there you see it actually work with 2 people. I was just doing some labbing, figuring out why it didn't work those 2 times, but in that initial run, you actually see it work with 2 people, which is definitely cool. You see we've been kind of forcing these weird engagements with Justin Houston over there. He's not getting pressure, but he is getting this weird disengage. You see we almost get 3 people there, but again, this is what's supposed to happen on the right side. You're supposed to be able to get Odofe off the edge on that right side, which with the contain. Again, it was working a little bit better earlier. Maybe if we respot the ball to the middle, which is what I was doing earlier, it might work a little bit better. I'm not sure what the difference is, but I kind of moved it over to the left just to see if creating more space might make a difference. Also, I figured out that you can baseline before. I don't know why I wasn't doing that, but that is something that you can certainly do, as I accidentally pinched my defense, so we'll just reset the defense. But yeah, I'm not sure why I wasn't baselining before. For some reason, I guess I just thought you couldn't. Definitely an interesting thought right there, but I might also try slanting to the right, see if that works better. I don't anticipate it necessarily working better, but we'll try it out again. I do want to, hold this contain, and that's the perfect run. I don't know maybe I was hovering wrong. Maybe I was just not focusing enough on getting the center's attention, but this is the fastest way I believe you can get it, faster than the way off the left side that we did earlier. You see, in real time, very quick. You wouldn't really tell that it's a contain. You don't get nano detected, nothing like that. And that is probably the perfect way to run it. So that's what I've been trying to do. That is the best way to run it, as my defense is stuck and I can't make adjustments. This is fun, so we're going to have to snap the ball. Gotta love practice mode with no coaching adjustments all year long. Such a simple fix that EA cannot manage, but you also see glitches like this, so it's not really surprising at all. But yeah, we'll set up that defense again. For whatever reason, the glitch, I think in practice mode that I'm talking about is when you view your play art and then quickly don't. It just prevents you from making adjustments afterwards. But we'll snap the ball again, hold the center's attention, and that is the blitz. Again, I don't know why it wasn't working earlier. Now you see it work too. We'll get a 3rd time in a row. I still will try slanting to the right, but here you see it working pretty perfectly. Slanting there, and again, make sure you do your adjustments on this right side. You've kind of been shadowing that by showing the blitz, but do those adjustments on the right side. You go soft squat, you can go cloud flat, whatever. Over here, this time we actually get 2 people free. We get a disengage from the inside from one of our defensive ends, and you still get OA off that right edge. Let's try what we were talking about, slant to the right. Again, we'll blitz him. I'm not sure. It might just look the exact same, but we'll see. And yeah, it pretty much works the exact same. Maybe it even is a little bit better. Not exactly sure. We'll try it again. Maybe it is, but I should have tried this earlier, and I always failed to do that. I always basically lab mid-video, but we'll see again here, and pretty much the same. The blitz works both ways. Maybe slanting to the right is a little bit more reliable, but slanting outside it works as well. It doesn't really make too big of a difference, but yeah, man, that's pretty much going to wrap up the video. If you guys enjoyed. Now, as far as the run defense goes, the run defense is pretty, good the way it is, I feel like. You're not going to have to do a whole lot to stop the run with this. If we just set up a little RPO zone peek, hand off the football, it should be pretty good. I meant to hand it off. I guess I couldn't, but you can see how you can pretty easily gap shoot. You have 6 guys on the defensive line, basically. So it is really easy to stop runs. You almost have 7. You have 7 in the box. So more times than not, let's try to find a better run, which of course we can't. I will try and hand the football off this time, but we'll kind of set up the blitz again just for kicks. And again, as far as hovering, you can hover right here. The ball is snapped, hand the ball off, which, why can I not hand the ball off? It's literally not runnable. I swear I'm holding A. Okay, so I guess we can finally run the ball off. I'll just make sure I hold A, but base align, shift, slant, manually blitz, contain, backside. Seems like a lot. I would urge you guys to practice this as well. But holding A, and there you, of course, it's just not going to run. But yeah, it's pretty good run D. Maybe I'll try an audible real quick. yeah, one of my favorite reasons about this formation is it's symmetrical, so you don't have to do any auto flip, weird flipping. Symmetrical, again, just base a line, which you can actually set to auto that we found out, set to auto. Again, we can shift to this side, slant to the right, contain, manually blitz him, whatever. We're in that stupid glitch again, so I guess we'll just run inside zone the way it is. But yeah, man, it's really easy to gap shoot. There you see it right there. Calais Campbell, he did shed because he had inside stuff, but even if he didn't, we were shooting that gap. I'll show it again one more time real quick. But yeah, man, it's really good run D. You shouldn't really have an issue stopping the run out of this. And there you see it again, just kind of wrap around. That's inside zone. This is also a tight end in the line of scrimmage, which makes it even better than some of the ones that you could also see. But that's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed, drop a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel down below, and peace. I'm out of here.